Hi, it's Jason, and I'm just sitting here in my rocking chair thinking about love. Now, the reason I'm thinking about love today is that I recently came across a video online of Dr. Vivek Murthy, who's the U.S. Surgeon General. He was giving a commencement address to the graduating School of Public Health for UC Berkeley, the graduates that are coming out. And he gave some great advice throughout, but he said one thing that really stuck with me. What he said was that love is the world's oldest medicine. Your ability to give and receive love is your greatest gift and your greatest power. It is what will sustain you on every step of your journey ahead. And that's some pretty powerful stuff, right? Love is your greatest gift. Love is your greatest power. You know, your ability to give and receive love, right? It wasn't talking about medicine or math or science. It was talking about love. And that struck me. You know, these are graduates in public health that are going off into careers in public health, but I think the same thing is incredibly true for those of us that have chosen to be in the business of leading and managing other human beings at work. Love is a powerful force, and I think this was brought into focus over the last year through the pandemic. I mean, I think a lot of managers over the course of the last 14 to 18 months have had a reality check. And yes, by the way, there are things floating around here. I'm sitting outside. Our cottonwoods are puking cotton all over the place, and it's blowing around. So consider it added ambiance. But all these managers have gotten a reality check over the last year. If you've been managing a team, you've gotten a reality check. It doesn't matter whether your team was distributed and sort of sent home to work from home, or whether you were sort of in a retail or manufacturing or healthcare environment. We got this reality check that, you know what? Turns out those people, those employees that we are responsible for, they're actual human beings, and they have lives outside of work that sometimes interfere with work, and they are emotional, and they have feelings, and they sometimes feel unsafe and all these other things. And when any of that stuff gets out of balance, when the human side of the equation, the life side of this equation gets out of balance, it affects their work. And we've had to get really serious about that and get really clear about that. And the managers, now, not every manager adapted to that, right? There's some managers who certainly put their head in the sand and are sort of waiting it out, waiting for a return to normal where we can go back to pretending like people don't have personal lives and we don't have to know anything about them other than, who they are when they show up to work. But there were a bunch of managers who instead chose to embrace this. And, they started to really get to know and understand their people. They leaned into helping, to supporting. And when they did this, when they demonstrated this care and support for people, what they found was that their people rose to the occasion. In the face of some pretty incredible and terrible circumstances, they continued to do great work. They continued to show up and make it happen. That's the power of love at work. And I think that's why this is such an important conversation to have right now. Now, I know that love is hard to talk about. I know love is an awkward conversation. If you're still watching this video, kudos. I'm sure a lot of people bailed out because this is not a comfortable thing. There's a lot of people out there who can't even muster the words "I love you" to say it out loud to the people that they love the most, their spouse or kids or friends. And if that's you, please fix that. You can fix that right now. It's words that mean a lot. Affirm that for your people, but that's not the point of this video. And it's also not the point of this video that you should run around and start telling your people that you love them at work, the people you manage. That will freak people out, especially people that don't hear it in their personal lives from the people they should hear it from. So that's not the message of this video. I'll come back to that in a minute. But I know this is a hard topic. It's not something we've been trained to do. It's not something that is natural for a lot of us. And so what I want to share with you quickly are four simple ways that you can start demonstrating some love for your people. And I'm going to very quickly cover these four things here. If you want to dive deeper, you can You can find, I went deeper into this in my blog post this week. You can go to my blog and find that. But here's the 4 things at a high level that you can do as a manager to demonstrate love. Number 1, you can give your people the benefit of the doubt and forgive quickly. So when something bad happens, and I remember a specific example, I write about it this week, of a woman who got herself into a high drama situation at work, and it kind of spiraled out of control and nearly cost her her job. But when I sat down and talked to her, what I discovered was someone who had no ill intention, really screwed up, admitted that she screwed up, wanted to do better, was terrified of what was going to happen. And I quickly saw, like, this isn't someone that we want to lose. This is a great person. And so we moved past that. I forgave her and told her I had her back, and away we went. And she turned out to be a great employee. So benefit of the doubt, forgive quickly, number 1. Number 2, make sure your people know that you love them. And that's not about telling them you love them, saying I love you necessarily, because like I said, that would freak some people out. But what it is about is making sure that you say things like, I care about you. I want you to be successful. If you're struggling, I want to know about it. I want to help. I'm here to help. All of those things are different ways of letting people know or telling people that you love them. And all of those different ways matter and they resonate. And even those things, when you say those things to people, there's going to be some people that makes them uncomfortable because they don't hear that very often. But deep down, it's exactly what they want to hear. It's exactly what they need to hear. So make sure they know you love them. Number 3, invest your time. Right? If you've been following me for a while, you know this is something I write about and have talked about a lot. It was my daughter when she was 7 years old, taught me this story or this lesson. I asked her, how do you know if someone loves you? And one of the very first things she said was, they spend time with me. Right? We all have the same amount of time allotted to us. It is our most precious and fleeting resource. And what we do with our time says everything about what's important to us and what matters to us. And so when we invest our time in people, there's no more powerful way that we can show them that we love them, that we can demonstrate love. This is true at work. It's true with every person in your life. So when you look at your calendar, if your calendar isn't full of appointments or blocked out time where you are with your people having meaningful conversations or thinking about your people and how to support them, you need to fix that right now. Number 4, the 4th way is the one that we most often get wrong, and it is we need to model and live accountability in our relationships with our people. Some people, when I talk about love to managers and leaders that have been around a long time, what they think is, oh, well, this means we're not going to hold people accountable. We're not going to, set goals. We're not going to have the hard conversation. We're just going to love people. And that is exactly the opposite of what I'm talking about. And it's exactly the opposite way to go about trying to form really meaningful, healthy, positive relationships. In a great relationship, we are mutually accountable to one another. I think about our teenage son when he was a teenager. He's older now, but he would do things on occasion that would put himself in danger or his future at risk. And his mom and I had to take some action to hold him accountable and to try to help him, and teach him how not to do that or why not to do that, or help him learn from that, not in spite of loving him, but because we loved him. Because we loved him, there was an accountability in that. And so we need to be accountable to our people. They need to know they can hold us accountable, what they should expect from us, and we need to make sure they understand what we expect from them and that we will hold them accountable. There's nothing more powerful in really creating trust in a relationship. So those are 4 quick things that you can do to demonstrate love, to show love as a manager. And this is important because we're entering a new era of work. Coming out of the pandemic, lots of things have changed. And this new era of work is going to be one where we're more distributed than ever. It's going to be one where we have shifted expectations about how we should be treated. We have heightened awareness of well-being and why it matters. We have an entire generation that's not going to let us off the hook if we don't create inclusive, equitable workplaces and work experiences where belonging is part of how we do things. And in order to survive and thrive in that environment, we have to adapt. We have to find new skills and new mindsets as a manager. And I think at the heart of that is love. Right? It's a thing that we've always wanted. It's things that that every one of us has wanted forever. And if you learn to lead with love, if you learn to use love as your management tactic, your management approach, it doesn't matter what kind of team you lead. It doesn't matter if they're all together, if they're hybrid, if they're in the office or not. None of that matters, because love will help you cut through that. And so I hope that you will lean into this. I hope you will bring more love to your work. And I'd love to hear from you and what you think about this. And in particular, I'd invite you to think about those managers or leaders who you think demonstrated the love well to you. What did they do? How did they show that to you? Drop a comment and talk about that, and let's learn from that example. So I hope you will share that. I hope this has been valuable, and I will see you next time.